Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rashawn427. Today, we're just going to talk about this. So I made a video about Seth Rollins' injury. Definitely go check that out on my channel. It was like the last video that I posted. Not short, but actual video that I actually posted. And today I want to do an update because I knew there was going to be an update, like whether he would be good or bad. But he actually had an ACL, a torn ACL. And I just looked it up. I believe it's like the Meniscus 2 or whatever. And it said that it takes 6 to 9 months. The least is 3 months. Which that would be like right after Mania. Now, it just depends on the injury, how the I don't know if he needs surgery. I don't really know about any of that type of stuff, but surgery and all that type of stuff. And it just depends on like what he actually does and everything. But it's most likely seeming like he's going to miss Wrestemania, which I already talked about in like the last video about him missing. I'll just talk about the possibility of it because there was a chance that it was a minor injury. Maybe he had to take a few weeks off, but this seems like he's pretty much done. And you know, it's definitely going to shake up the Wrestlemania card. I don't think it will hurt the Wrestlemania card. I mean, I feel like Seth Rollins would have made it the strongest of what we could have gotten just because of Punk and Rollins. But then you might say, well, them building it up a little bit more, them doing it later on down the line, which he definitely will be back by SummerSlam. Them doing it at SummerSlam, maybe Punk is the champion, and then Rollins comes to take the championship from him. They could do something like that. But maybe them building it up will be better. But Seth Rollins, I know this got to hurt to miss WrestleMania 40, the milestone for WrestleMania. Because the next milestone, well, I guess you say every WrestleMania. The next milestone is WrestleMania 50. And you don't know if he can wrestle for another 10 years. So this is going to be a huge, I know it's a huge blow to him. Because nobody want to miss the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, which they're set up to be the biggest WrestleMania ever, especially with the card they're setting up. And just everything they're actually doing, it just seems like it's just going to be such a great WrestleMania. This is definitely going to take away from Punk. Now, they could do the Punk and Austin route. Or I think they should keep Punk inside the World Heavyweight Championship. And if The Rock's not winning the Rumble, which, I mean, I'm not going to say I hope not, because it's like, I'm not mad if The Rock win the Rumble, but I really think that Punk should win it, and he should face whoever they're going to have as champion. Now, what do they do with this? They have one or two options. Vacate the title, or have Damian Priest cash in on him, and Damian Priest win the championship. Now, it really wasn't in their plan for Damian Priest to walk into Mania as champion. Do they want to put him in? Well, we don't know if it's going to be the main event, but if they have Punk lined up, Punk is a lot to be inside the World Championship match. Do they have Damian Priest versus Punk? Is that really a big enough match for a world title match at Mania? To me, no. I think the Drew McIntyre is definitely a big enough match, but I could definitely see them maybe put the title of Damian Priest just for a couple months. He loses at the Chamber. They could do something like that, and he loses to Drew McIntyre, and then Drew McIntyre walks into Mania, and then that way you wrap up the Damian Priest stuff. He becomes world champion. He holds it for a little bit, because they still didn't announce a world championship match for the Royal Rumble, which is interesting. Because it was just like, well, Seth don't have an opponent. We thought it was going to be Drew. I thought it was going to be Drew. I thought they were going to, even though they did it on day one, I thought it was going to be Drew again doing it at the Royal Rumble once again because he kind of got screwed. They were just like, well, who is Rollins going to face? And I don't know if they had a plan to not have Rollins on the Royal Rumble card, which would just be so weird for them to not put him on the card. I think that's super weird. I don't think we've ever, whenever we've had two world champions, I don't think one world champion has ever not defended it on the card. I cannot remember a time where they didn't do that. Now, maybe they're just switching it up. They don't want us to be matches. We didn't even get a singles women's match. Like, we got the Royal Rumble match, but a singles match for either of the world championships for the women, we didn't get any of that. So that's interesting as well. And just seeing how they're going to shape up the card. Now, at this point, since Rollins is out, I don't think we're going to get a world championship match at Royal Rumble. That's just to me personally. I actually beat at the Royal Rumble. But if Seth Rollins, they either have to vacate it. And what I think they should do if they vacate it, just put it in the Elimination Chamber. It's the simplest thing, unless they want to do a tournament. But if you're not going to do a tournament, just put it in the chamber. Put 6 superstars in. You could do 3 Raw, 3 SmackDown. That's what they're probably going to do. I know that doesn't make sense because it's a Raw Championship. But do 3 Raw, 3 SmackDown. Put it in the Elimination Chamber. But if they do a cash-in route, have Damian Priest hold it. But then Damian Priest, there's a lot of talk about him facing Finn Balor at Mania. Do Damian Priest and Finn Balor, is that your World Championship match at WrestleMania? Then if you have Punk face Austin, but if Punk is not facing Austin, if Punk is not facing Austin, he has to be in that World Championship match. I don't see what else they can do. I know there's a lot of talk about Cody. I mean, that'll be really cool, but is that really it's a big time match, but is that really what you just want to do with both of them? Especially since we don't know what's going on with Roman and The Rock and stuff like that. But with this is just really bad timing for Seth Rollins. I mean, right before Mania, he's had this long title reign. For his title reign to end like this long draw, I thought he was going to lose it way back when. A lot of people thought he was losing at SummerSlam. But this long title reign he's had, which looked like it was going to go past Mania, because I thought he was going to beat Punk for the title. That's obviously what they were setting up. But for that to whole change, it'd just be very interesting to see where they go. But I think they had one or two options. Do the cash in or just put it inside the chamber. Have it vacated, put it in the chamber. I actually thought about them putting it online in Royal Rumble, but then it's just like you got Cody in it, and it's for a shot at the title at Wrestlemania. But then you know what's interesting though? I don't think they've ever had this situation where the title was vacated right before the Rumble, because it actually does make more sense for them to put the title on the line in the Rumble. But then I doubt they'll do that. But I don't think they've ever had a title vacated before. Of course, the '92 Rumble. They did it then because, I mean, that was for the put title on. I'm talking about, like, but after that, I don't think they've ever had a title vacated before the Rumble match. So that'll be very interesting to have a vacant championship, but then it's like you're fighting for opportunity for that championship, but then the championship is vacant. So it's like, why not just put it in the Rumble? But I totally understand why they wouldn't put it in the Rumble, but to me, it just kind of makes more sense because, like, they're fighting for the championship, they get opportunity, but then somebody else is going to have the opportunity later on to get it. So it's just like, no, it's just very interesting overall. But yeah, I'm definitely just going to be interested to see what they do on Monday. They're definitely going to clear this up on Monday and see what they're going to do with everything and leading up to the chamber, leading up to WrestleMania. This is going to shake up the card. It could not shake up the card that much, or I don't know if it's drastic where they're going to change it up, just because you could just do this, Punk, insert another guy, and then just leave it like that, and then nothing else will really change. Except for, like, if Drew McIntyre, because I think Drew McIntyre is going to face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. That's going to change that, but then that's not really, like, one of the bigger matches on the WrestleMania card, just to me personally. But it just be very interesting to see what they do with Seth Rollins and what's going on inside the future. And will Punk still have the WrestleMania main event? Because I thought that was that should have main event night one over everything. Punk and Rollins. I mean, that could. I mean, some people were saying that it's a main event over Cody and Roman, which we never know. You know, that's never happening. But that was the night one main event. But if you do Drew and Punk, is that really a main event? Or is Becky and, what is her name, Rhea Ripley, is that the bigger match? Because I think once you put Rollins in there, it's just like, okay, that's the biggest match. But once you add Drew to it, it's just like, is that the WrestleMania main event that you go with? So it's just be very interesting to see what they do with all this and everything that's happening. And yeah, just definitely looking forward to it this Monday. They might address on this Friday. I mean, today, Friday, coming up on SmackDown tonight. But just tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the Seth Rollins news? He has a torn ACL, meniscus. Tell me your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe.